And we are here, folks. Aftermath of IGC5 Athena. I'm Dan Mina. That's Jeff Haddad.
I'm Jeff Haddad.
I'm Jack Stapleton.
All right. Dude, what an event.
Yeah.
It was pretty epic. Kind of crazy putting it together. It was one of the more stressful ones.
Can confirm.
Yeah, matchmaking duties were kind of like, you got that, Jack, you got that. But even ticket sales were very interesting. Like a week, I kept saying like a week in, we actually had like virtually no tickets sold, which is not the case for most events. And then within the last 2 days, it was just an explosion. We weren't even expecting that. But ultimately, it led to this really cool women's event, kicked off by some kids. We had some Ascension kids on there. We had some Pan American champions. Really good jiu-jitsu from just about everyone. And then ultimately we capped it with the 145 tournament, which was pretty cool, pretty interesting. Very different styles coming together there. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about first match. First match was little kids, Adalia Rodriguez out of Essential Jiu-Jitsu and Abigail Woods out of Orange County Fight Club. That one goes to Adalia via armbar at 4:09, 51 seconds in. What'd you guys think?
That was an awesome throw.
The throw and the staggering 45-pound weights.
Yeah.
Just their 45 pounds. They were savages, though.
Yeah.
Like, just even that armbar from side control attempt, that was like a la Roatolo brothers. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, that throw was epic. She like hopped into it, right? And it was like,
It was almost like by the book, a super traditional way to set up a throw. She like pulled to the side super hard and like really like made her compensate for that step. It was awesome.
and then skipped right into it.
Yeah.
51 seconds, that's all it took. You can tell that she's done that sequence, over and over.
That's probably what she warms up with, yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty epic. Second match of the day was our first Ascension Athletics student, Sophie Canada, versus a beast from Essential, Layla Boulez. Layla takes that via armbar at 2:55. Now, I mentioned on the commentary, we gave this match to Sophie. She in here, we know she's newer. She's got like a year of grappling, but she wants to get there. And we just wanted to give her a taste of what that actually looks like. And she performed beautifully, I thought.
Sophie did great. She was controlling the pace like the first few minutes, and she was reacting very well to Layla's scenarios and scrambling pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I was very happy with how she performed.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. Sophie being so new to the sport compared to Layla, that was awesome. But Layla was also gracious in taking the match and understood kind of where she is compared to Sophie. I just don't really have anything to say about the technical piece because you covered it, but just super proud of Sophie for stepping up and very thankful and grateful for Layla for taking the match.
Yeah, seriously. And you see that aggression at that kid level. It's one of those things that's hardest to teach, right, or to bring out. You can teach all the technical ability, but that beast in them sometimes we've seen it time and time again. That's might be enough to win most matches.
Yeah.
Third match was our first adult match, a white belt match of 120 pounds. We had Zora Key out of Shorties and Annabelle Wynn, also out of Ascension Athletics. Annabelle's really dove into competing, huh?
Dude, she trains like 2 days a week and has been doing it for like 2 months and has competed already. And she came up to me after this weekend, after a combat jiu-jitsu match, and she's like, "Coach," and looked me dead in the eyes. He's like, "I want that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "You got to come to class more."
Yeah.
But she did really well. She's such a gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her awareness. I've rolled with her, and her awareness, she knows what she wants to do. She just doesn't have the experience or the technical ability to get there yet. But you can see that she's making the right choices in her movement, which is really cool. She was here at 6:30 a.m. class this morning, still fired up.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, she hit me up and told me that she wanted to do that as well. I was like,
has she ever done a 6:30 before?
Yeah, she's
She
pretty
has.
regular
Okay.
there.
I
Yep.
thought that she like got fired up from the event and was like, I'm going at 6:30.
No, yeah,
No, she's been doing them.
She comes at 6:30 a.m. and she drives like 45 minutes
Yeah.
from there,
And
you
then
know,
comes to evening now.
and in the
yeah.
evening as well.
I just want to talk about Zora. Zora,
Mhm.
physicality,
Yeah.
she was, she looked like a fantastic athlete. And
Yeah.
even Annabelle was like, she was so strong. Like, she
Yeah.
just looked so strong.
Yeah, and multifaceted. She was very impressive with on the mat and off the mat. She's like speaks 5 languages, has lived pretty much everywhere, has masters in like molecular and cellular biology or something like that.
Yeah.
And then is a dentist as well. So you got like this full package, and then now getting to express another side of it on the mat was really cool to see.
I was matchmaking and she's like, sorry, I'm with a patient. And I'm like, okay, get back to your patient. And then
Yeah.
get back to me later.
For sure. Absolutely. So very cool. Zora wins that at 3:47, so in 6 minutes and 13 seconds with a Kimura from full guard, which is what you would expect one of those finishes to be at that white belt level. Next match was blue belts, Kelly Zaccheo, Balance Studios versus Dominique Vranos from Henzo Gracie Milford. Kelly takes that via armbar at 8:56, so 1 minute and 4 seconds. And this was our 3rd out of 4 matches that finished with an armbar. What'd you guys think of that one?
Awesome match. Both of them came out like with really good like fundamental postures. It looked like it was like a knee slice versus knee shield battle. And I was like, ooh, these girls are like pretty high level. And as soon as they were moving around, their arm got extended. But yeah, I was impressed by that first minute of that match.
I don't know Kelly. I can just say from that competition, I was impressed. But I did see Dominique at our AGCs and was super impressed. She had like one of the best matches of the day at that tournament. So I expect to see her on the scene a bit more. And she's one of those women I think you just keep your eye out for her.
Yeah, what's really interesting with her, she's a mother of 2. She started jiu-jitsu like to inspire her daughters. Like her family, the males did jiu-jitsu, and she kind of wanted to show the girls that they could do it too. So she dove in first, and just to show them. But now she's like in love with the sport as well. So that's really cool. The jiu-jitsu bug got her as well. So hopefully her and her family continue to do it. 5th match of the day, Sienna Poirier versus Layla Boulez, who had her 2nd match of the day. Sienna from here at Ascension Athletics. Layla takes that via armbar again in 2 minutes and 14 seconds. What are you guys' thoughts there?
Kind of same thing about Sophie. We obviously knew that we were bumping up Sienna to a higher level, and Sienna is very interested in pushing the envelope and growing her technique, and she wanted to see where she stood. And yeah, I thought Sienna looked awesome. She was aggressive. She didn't get overwhelmed by the moment. And then, like I said about Layla, thank you. Super grateful. Layla easily could have turned those matches down because there was nothing to gain out of those matches for Layla, other than I had talked to her prior, inspiring the group of girls underneath her.
Yeah, for sure. And just the whole experience of the IGC, I think she had a great experience here as well as her first time being part of the IGC. So that was really cool. And, like you said, with Sienna and Sophie, we put them into these matches expecting them fully not to win. It was the lesson that was going to be coming from these matches both. Next match was the 6th of the day. Another experienced competitor, Madison Crockett out of Casa Jiu-Jitsu versus another Ascension Athletics prospect who we're looking to grow, Raven Duquette. Madison takes that via, what do you think? Armbar in 1 minute and 49 seconds. So that makes 5 armbars out of the first 6 matches of the day. Madison is
Savage.
She's just so she's waiting like a bull when they open up that gate. She's ready to go.
She reminds me of the wrestler mentality. There's so many, having coached women's wrestling for so long, She's just always game, always intense, ready to go. And in her matches, you can tell she wants to not only finish you, she wants to make a statement that she's there for real and that you probably don't want to go against her again.
Yeah.
She's even at AGC, she was ferocious. And then obviously in this match, she almost took Raven's arm off.
Yeah, that was definitely hyperextended. Raven's very flexible. I talked to her. She said she's okay. But yeah, she puts her hips into it. You better tap. You better be ready to tap. Her everything, her whole pre-match routine. You can see her. She's just ready, fierce, headphones on, ready to rock. But Raven was up for the challenge. That's one of those things that we've been trying to push out of Raven, right? She's got very good technical ability. She's taken a million classes, right? She's got this knowledge. Now it's just like putting it into action without thinking, right? And she's always thinking a little too much, which just makes you gun shy, right? And you know,
it's so interesting how personalities determine like how you're gonna be in jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Madison's super low key. Like when you talk to her, she has, like you said, she has nothing on her mind besides competing.
Mm-hmm.
Raven's just kind of kicking it, having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's different. It's just so interesting how it plays out.
Yeah, and that's okay. But except when you're competing, that person, it's dire consequences, right? An armbar, you know, these things, you have to be ready. Fast twitch, trying to escape or tap, whatever it may be. Next match, Christy Londona versus Jess Johnson, 125 white belts. This is our first decision of the day. Jess Johnson takes that via decision. What do you guys have to think about that match?
Good match. Might not have been a decision had she not attended the rules meeting, because she almost tried to finish a few electric chairs, it looks like. And she came over and she was like, oh, we were bummed about the last minute rule change. And from the get-go, it wasn't a last minute thing, but yeah, she was going for like electric chairs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, she was hitting that sweep pretty much over and over again, though. Right, back to the wheelhouse.
From 10 Planet New York City.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah, and that was kind of what carried her to that decision, when she knew at the bottom she can get into the lockdown, she can go underneath, and then ultimately come up on top. White belt, so the finishing wasn't there, right? But just having that base from the bottom now as a white belt will serve her great moving forward.
I think Christy looked really good.
Yeah.
She had a really early guard pass. Again, just like the Kelly and Dominique match, two really good like approaches in the first 30 seconds of the match.
Yeah, absolutely. The next match was our first match of the 145 tournament, and that pitted Gabrielle Chernick versus Charlotte Wimberly. Gabrielle coming out of Movement Art, Charlotte out of FAACT. Gabby wins that via inside heel hook in 43 seconds. Pretty much what we expected that match to go to, I was thinking. We saw Gabby compete here before. She's a little bit more experienced than Charlotte in the competition side. And I'm not sure. I didn't know how much Charlotte had as far as leg game, but I definitely knew Gabrielle was going to go to that right away.
Yeah, it was like a Mikey lock setup almost.
Yeah, I mean, so Charlotte is pretty new in general in taking this match. I think for her right now, she's just getting reps, just trying to get used to the competition level and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what her goals are, but I did know that this was a tall order for her. Gabrielle is no joke. And like you said, I was not surprised that that's where she was going.
Yeah, 43 seconds inside a heel hook, which turned out to be our only heel hook of the night.
Really?
Wow.
It was like a type of heel hook. It was beautiful. It was like 50-50, like double 50 it looked like. And she set it up off that Mikey lock grip.
Dude,
Yep.
she's legit.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
And I love her demeanor.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Cucumber, just chilling the whole time.
The only thing she's thinking about is what technical problems she'll encounter.
And you can see that, the algorithms going through her head, just trying to figure it out. I did mention a few times on the commentary, like, you can see she has an incredible good base for this leg lock game. When she really puts it all together and taking that knee line, a lot of times she wasn't just getting close to that hip as she should have been. But you can see there's a lot to work with there, and that her game's just going to keep going. Second match of the 145 tournament was Peyton Letcher versus Caitlin Boland. Peyton, very experienced brown belt, coming out of Henzo, NYC, and Cape Town. Caitlin Boland, another newer competitor. Peyton takes that via knee bar in a minute and a second. What do you guys think?
Just another seeded matchup. When you get these tournaments going with the seeds, this is how it plays out with Charlotte and Gabrielle and Peyton and Caitlin.
Caitlin, I've been praising her for a minute just because I saw her compete like a year and a half ago or something, and she looked fundamentally sound. She was, brand new. I think she was a white belt at the time. I think, again, this is just like the Charlotte match where these are reps for the lower belts, and I think Caitlin's got a really high ceiling, but Peyton is...
She's a beast, too. She's so serious. Yeah. Like, her game is so serious.
She's ranked on Flow, I think, 13th or something like that, yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, definitely. And nasty knee bar, too.
Yeah.
Next match was Molly Borowski versus Ansley Cox. Molly coming out of Daniel Gracie, Philly, and Ansley coming out of Hart BJJ. This was a cool matchup. I'll let you guys lead off with that.
I was just super impressed with both of them, not saying that blue belts can't be technical, but, just two blue belt matchups, and they both delivered. I thought they both looked technical. They both were ready to compete. I see both of them as kind of making a name for themselves, especially as they move up into that purple belt ranking and they start to get a little bit more competition underneath them.
Yeah, it's so cool to see. I was watching, Ansley was really like heavy pressure, just keeping her weight on Molly the whole time. Molly was calm the whole time, even when Ansley had her hands locked from behind while they were standing. She was quad potting, she was figuring it out, and very calm in the situation. But what was really impressive was Ansley's like pressure, no matter what, top, And there was one moment where Molly tried to roll really quickly, and I got nervous on the commentary because she kind of was like stopped on her neck because that pressure was just there, it wasn't coming off.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember being like, ooh.
Yeah. So Ansley ends up taking that at 3 minutes and 55 seconds with a rear naked choke, moving her on. Next match was a pretty cool one. Michelle Marquez, black belt 145 out of Brazil, 021 Boston, versus Marissa Picelli out of Up Top BJJ. Marissa takes that via triangle in 3 minutes and 19 seconds.
Really good match.
Yeah.
Whoa. I honestly didn't know what to expect. I think I was leaning towards Michelle initially, but I've been following Marissa for a while. We've had she's competed with us before.
Nope. That was our first time.
But I've been following her, so I knew she was legit.
No. She did. She beat Casey LaRusso.
Really? And she was at our AGCs against Laura Griffin.
Yes, she was at AGCs. Yes, that's right.
So I saw her go against Laura, and she put up a good match and Laura beat her, but I was thinking Michelle was going to win. And as soon as the match started, I was like, whoa, all right, Marissa has got some problems. It could have been a stylistic problem for Michelle, but Marissa is legit.
Yeah, she's got some super long limbs and knows exactly how to use them.
And calm.
Calm on the bottom.
Same consistent, I don't want to call it pressure, same consistent pace the whole time. You're always going to be in trouble with her. She's never going to go too slow. She's never going to go too fast. She's just constantly working.
Exactly. Yeah, and Marissa takes that with a triangle, which kind of caught us off guard, actually, right? Because the triangle was shot up, and Michelle kind of stayed a little too comfortable.
I didn't respect it.
Yeah, and that was it. She got swallowed up by it.
I've been there. I'm a black belt. I got submitted by a purple belt. I just was like not respecting the position, and all of a sudden I was like, uh-oh, tap.
Yeah, and that moved Marissa on as well. After that, we took a little break from the tournament, and we went to Tirsa Cannon, 125 blue belt out of Paramount BJJ, and she went up against Brianna Singh out of Peak Jiu-Jitsu. Our second decision of the day, Tirsa Cannon takes that decision.
I like this matchup a lot. Two blue belts that seem like they were right in their own lane, like getting onto the comp scene, good reps for each other. Easiest people in the world to work with. Just said yes to everything.
Oh yeah, you had said that they were just like a
Super
dream
cool.
to work with.
Literally, yeah, amazing.
Just to the competitors who may watch this, that's the blueprint.
Two awesome gyms too, Paramount and Peak.
Yeah, that's the blueprint. We will definitely have them back because of how they were fantastic.
Both of them. For
You
sure.
sang their praise immediately.
For sure. Skippy Dynamite, that's his Instagram name. He's one of the guys that runs Peak. He was like, man, Brianna, she came up short, but she did. I'm like, dude, we'll have her back January 21st. Like, anytime you want, bro.
Yeah, plug that January 21st if you're looking. Hit us up.
Yeah, so might as well plug that, I guess. IGC6 Apex is January 21st. Registration applications, we're taking those now. Matchups are happening. We have a 185 men's tournament. Right now, the prize is $1,000 that we've spoken about. But depending on how it goes, we can bring that up to maybe $2,000 or whatever it may be. But we'll have to see. Right now, it stands at $1,000. 185 pounds. Get your applications in there because we're going to be putting that bracket out as soon as possible. Moving on, we went to match number 13 on the day, which was Michelle Estrada versus Emily Harris. Michelle coming out of Jiu-Jitsu Modern. Emily Harris out of Bones BJJ. Another decision, 2 in a row. Michelle takes that decision win.
One of my favorite matches.
That was a sick match. And two phenomenal gyms, too. Bones and Modern. So as soon as I saw this matchup, I was like, all right, this is going to be legit.
Yeah.
Great match. Both of those girls are I mean, just
Super game.
yeah.
Super game. I thought it was one of the best matches of the day.
It
too.
was arguably the best match of the day. Yeah.
And Emily almost pulled it off right at the end. Like, I was like, because Michelle positionally controlled most of the match, you knew the decision was going to go to her. But when Emily almost got in on that submission, I was like,
What was the sub again?
I believe it was an armbar. Yeah, it was going to be an armbar. She was getting extended, if I'm not mistaken.
I remember
But I remember the
turn.
reaction. I don't remember the sequence, but I know that it was the upset in the making. I was like, oh, this would be so sick if
Yeah.
she pulls it off.
We had Devontae Johnson in Emily's corner.
Yeah.
Super cool for
Super
well,
cool, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But Michelle takes the decision, doesn't get subbed, and takes the win. Then we went back to the 145 tournament. Our first semifinal match put Gabrielle Chernick up versus Peyton Letcher. All right, and before the match, I'm like, I don't know.
100%.
It's so interesting. But Gabrielle takes this via triangle at 2 minutes and 16 seconds. I'm sorry, at 2:16 on the clock, 7 minutes and 44 seconds for the sub. What do you guys think?
Honestly, I think I was handling something during this match, so I didn't get
yeah.
a full watch on this match. So I'll turn it over to Jack.
Probably the same thing.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I was recording, and during the midst of the chaos, I mean, when I saw that they were fighting each other, of course, I'm like, dude.
So what I thought was really cool about this match was, you had Gabrielle working in from the bottom on the legs. You had Peyton, who was totally okay with that game. Like, she would sit back on a lot of Gabrielle's entries, and catching the heel and making Gabrielle move as well. So it was a really cool leg lock battle from bottom player.
Oh,
top
I do
player.
remember that. Okay,
Right.
yeah. It was just back and forth leg exchanges.
Yeah, and then
Wasn't there a couple that were really close, and you and I were like,
there were some close connections. There was. I mean, there was so many attempts, and it was interesting. It's like at one point, I think I even said it on the commentary. It was at one point that she lulled her into this leg game and then shot the triangle. And then it was like, oh shoot, I'm in a triangle. Here we go again.
And it was like a weird shoulder lock finish, right?
Yes.
Peyton got up and her arm was a little bit messed up.
So I actually
okay.
So I spoke to Gabrielle yesterday, just asking, because I thought it was a wrist lock. Because I heard her coach saying, hey, her wrist is dangling there, and then I also saw Peyton get up like this. But the way Peyton was defending, trying to keep that space, Gabrielle got underneath and kind of cranked on the shoulder.
Yeah,
and
brought it.
being like a shoulder lock
Yeah.
off of the triangle fully locked triangle. So yeah, we pieced that one together, boys.
Yeah.
Good job. Next semifinal match was Ansley Cox versus Marissa Pacelli. Marissa Pacelli takes that with a snapping razor armbar, 5 minutes and 9 seconds to take that one. That was a really cool one there, I thought.
I think when this match happened, I was like, okay, Marissa might take this whole tournament. Just, she looked so on, and yeah, I just was, again, I was blown away with Marissa, actually. She's like, this was probably just like, you know, you need to just put together the perfect tournament. And it's so hard to do that because that means you have to have like 3-4 perfect matches.
Yeah.
She did it.
Yeah, you can see at this point, yeah, I agree. At this point, you see her flowing. You can see that from the outside looking in. I mean, she had a sick deep De La Hiva to crab ride to almost the back
That
take
was so,
right there.
yeah.
You know, super smooth. So it's like she was flowing, and she shot that trap triangle, and, you know, she was so in the flow that she didn't have to go force the triangle. She saw that the arm was posted out. She just boop, quick on the elbow. Ansley was like, you got me. You know, that's how fast that tap happened on that one. Then we took a break from the tournament again. We had our final set. That was going to pit Marissa Pacelli versus Gabrielle Chernik in our final. We gave them a little rest. We had 2 matches in between. The first match there was Emily Haas out of Nitro BJJ, splits her time here at Ascension Athletics as well. Philippe from Nitro BJJ was in her corner, and then Christina Williams out of Moser's Mat Club. Definitely the 2 most physically imposing competitors of the day.
No doubt.
Yeah, they were both like monsters.
But
Emily is just built different.
She, I mean, all right. She literally just runs through people at every tournament. It is insane. Her body is built for war. She's just like Athena. I mean, we should have just put her on the poster. She's just so physically imposing.
Yeah.
She goes out and you can see it on everyone. As soon as she puts her hands on you, you can see every woman is like, even the guys she rolls with, they're like, what is on me right now?
Yeah.
And she just, beautiful coach killer takedown. And then, yeah, I mean, no, nothing against Christina, but Emily just was in full control of this match.
Yeah, and from what I've seen and from what I hear, Christina's really good. I mean, she just competed this weekend and had a pretty good showing. And that's just like, you're not ready. If you're not ready for Emily Haas to come at you, you're not ready. Like, you got to be on.
Yeah, and if you can't start late with her. If you don't come out immediately, it's over. By the time you get started, she's already on your back. She loves getting to people's back. And I mean, she is so strong. When she gets you, she'll break your neck.
Yeah, if you approach her with no game plan, she has one.
Every time.
You'll probably start losing the sequences for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the whole sequence was beautiful. The coach killer takedown to breaking that turtle and punching that crossface. She had Christina's head like, stop resisting. You know, this is happening. And
her squeeze is so tight.
I remember on commentary, Jordan Novak from the Rare Naked Chicks podcast, who was a guest commentator with me, she was like, she's not under her chin. I was like, I don't think this one matters right now. This one is.
I've seen her tap many a humans with
it was
jaw doesn't matter.
Dude, her head was twisted, and you can see Christina was like, her only resort from the pain was to turn, and then that was the choke. Then I was in. So it was pretty interesting. 1 minute and 7 seconds. But like, I mean, that took the air out the room. Honestly,
yeah,
like,
facts.
what the hell was that?
Yeah,
Like,
she does that on a regular basis.
Like her? Did that person steal something from her?
It was the most gore match of the card. By far.
Oh, that was good.
That brought us to our co-main event, which was unbelievable match. I love this match. Kate Egan out of Gracie Humata, Philly, brown belt 135 versus Yvonne Tautiva out of Jiu-Jitsu NYC, purple belt 135. Kate takes that via armbar at 6:40, 3 minutes and 20 seconds into the match. Really cool match.
Sick match. And one of the first matches that got set up, and 2 of the easiest and best competitors ever to work.
Welcome back.
Yes, any changes, I am down. There was no changes, but awesome match.
Yeah. Yes. Let me know.
Yes.
And then next correspondence is weigh-ins. and-
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Super excited to compete, sharing it the whole time.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Kate is phenomenal.
Awesome.
Her technical skill, her positional awareness was incredible. And we've seen Yvonne compete, and we've seen Yvonne like beast through some
Smash,
people.
yeah.
You know, and Kate was just, it was not the day for Yvonne. Kate was just on, and she just looked so good.
They both looked great during the match.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, Kate is.
Yeah, technical skill. Yvonne's passing versus Kate's guard was just
Yeah.
such a cool thing to watch.
Sick.
You know, and I think Yvonne is used to kind of like buzzsawing through people's guards.
That's what it's.
And
Yeah,
and it just wasn't going to happen that day. She got close a couple times.
For sure, Kate's just such a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
She's been competing amongst this like group, this tight knit, like Trinity Punch. She's been in that group of people that fight each other at the same tournaments
Yeah,
for
she's
years
used
and
to it.
years and years.
And it kind of seems like Yvonne's just getting there.
Yeah,
100%.
She's
I'd
just
agree with
picking
that.
that up. She wants to compete more. She had a great time here.
100%.
You can see it. So just it's so cool because even when you don't get that win, it's like these awesome like show you where you're at
I knew
and
it
show
would
you
be
where
an
you're going.
I knew it would be an amazing rep for both, for sure.
Yeah, and again, kudos to the matchmaking because that's really what makes these tournaments is we're not just sticking two names together.
No, never.
Right? It has to make sense.
Yeah.
And if you look back at this whole card stylistically, even some of the white belt matches that we didn't have too much, to know about, but they had cool, backgrounds and just you can see that they're gonna put on a show. But Kate Egan again takes it armbar, 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and that put us into our final match of the day. The main event is the 145 final for $1,000 and crowned Athena champion Gabrielle Chernik versus Marissa Picelli. And it was definitely a calculated war on both ends. Marissa wins by decision. It was a stylistic matchup there, right? One person was trying to do something. Actually, me and Jordan took a bet time because both of them up till then all sat down for each of their matches. Marissa sat down, Gabrielle sat down for each of her matches. So we're like, who's gonna sit first? And I'm like, Gabrielle, boom, and you just knew Gabby doesn't look like she wants to really play top much. She's just gonna play bottom always. And then this is where Marissa's top game showed. I think shined right there.
Yeah, I kind of just going into the match. Again, I had already said this. I was actually originally I thought Gabrielle was going to win the tournament.
Mm-hmm. She was our number one seed.
Yeah, and then once I saw Marissa kind of on her flow, and I was kind of like, oh man, this might not go Gabby's way. And then as the match progressed, I was kind of like, well, okay, Marissa's doing exactly what she kind of has been doing. She kept a steady pace the whole time, looked super composed the whole time, and then, obviously finished with the decision. I think Marissa, out of all the women I've seen in a long time, is probably one of the more interesting prospects in the Northeast to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she showed incredible discipline. Like you said, the pace never changed. The game changed. Each of her opponents had a very different game.
Yeah, which was crazy. She was so well-rounded. That was probably what I was most surprised about. Michelle and Gabby are very, very different. And she handled both of them with like, oh, okay, I'm just going to implement this game plan.
Like literally couldn't be two more different people.
Yeah.
Michelle and Gabby.
Yeah, and Marissa secures a really nice guard pass.
Yeah, she did. She broke through the guard of Gabrielle Chernik. Not an easy thing to do.
Not an easy thing to do. She sits down and that's what she does.
It's like passing Mikey Musumeci's guard.
Yeah, and I think that was, it was definitely the deciding factor because that was the biggest thing.
That was the biggest
from
thing,
positional change. And Gabrielle, yes, was getting in on the legs. And this is where I mentioned early on, you're going to see that develop because she had control of the leg, but she could never really get above that knee line.
Yeah.
And make a significant attempt Most likely is going to be getting her wedges correctly, because she's very controlled with the hand and her hooks.
Yeah.
But when she starts to suck in, her control goes away a little bit. And then you have that type of control in the foot, and then Marissa Pacelli's baseball bat at the end of her kneecap. Like, that's a long way from her hips, It's like, it's so far away. So you got to, like, attack that differently. I mean, you can see Marissa, like, leaving her leg out there sometimes, and knew she was just going to boot out of that and whatnot. But Marissa Pacelli takes the win, decision. She's crowned the 145 champ, Iron Woman champion. Very cool moment. I saw her get, like, looked like she was getting emotional for a second.
Well, they're friends.
And it's like,
they're
it was
friends.
like, yeah.
It looked like she didn't want to celebrate too much.
Yeah.
They're friends, yeah.
It was cool. It was very cool.
And she was really tired. I remember I went to go say something to her, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so tired."
Yeah. Ultimately, IGC Athena, 18 total matches, 14 out of the 18 finished in submission for a 78% submission rate.
And what was our submission rate at the previous one? It was like 20.
It was 22 out of 24.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
and I know we didn't.
high.
We didn't keep stats on our previous one prior to that.
We do have them.
We do.
I don't have them off the top.
But it was
of my head,
another
but we have
high
them.
submission rate.
Yeah.
One thing I got to say to all the competitors who come out here to compete, and all our future competitors, one thing that we really love to see here and that everyone delivers is people get after it. I remember our original motto was get out there and get after it.
Yep.
And that's what people have been doing. And it makes for such fun events, and the crowd loves it, and it's elevating the sport to where it needs to be. Jiu-jitsu is not always user-friendly because of what it is. It's so foreign, but everyone knows what a submission is.
Yeah.
And so when people start seeing these submissions, it's exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, it goes for every promotion. I don't think there's a promotion out there that's not saying this, right? That's saying, hey, go out there.
And
get
stall.
after it. Yeah. And submissions would be great, submissions.
But we
would be
love
great.
decisions.
But
IBJJF Grand Prix.
but it also is a testament to the environment we're creating for that. The rule set that we're working with.
The athletes we're choosing.
The athletes we're choosing, the matchups we're making. So a lot goes into that. And, there's a lot of these types of tournaments in gyms. But I love that when it's IGC time, it does not feel like a gym in here at that moment.
No.
It's like it feels bigger. And all the athletes say it. It's like you think you're going into a gym environment, and then you get here, it's like, oh, okay, this is way different.
Post-match interviews.
Yeah.
And
Media's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's media everywhere. There's lights, all that.
the vibe going around the whole time. You just want to get out there and get
100%.
after it. You know what I mean?
I mean, you hopped off the mic one time to make it happen.
Yeah.
And 6 out of the last 40 matches were decisions.
That's awesome. And the timeliness, right? Running on time, match to match to match. You're feeding off of those last matches. There's not these lulls killing it every time and just feeding it. I mean, I think we finished in 2.5 hours this event.
I think we finished 3 minutes early.
Yeah, 3 minutes early.
The other
3 minutes
tournaments
early
we
schedule.
finished like 30 minutes early, but basically we are either 10 minutes. We're either starting 10 minutes before your scheduled time, or we're starting directly on your scheduled time.
Yep.
There is no delay. We've all competed. We all understand how important organization is. So we're just going to keep pushing that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we had briefly spoke about like, oh man, were we giving people enough time? And it's like, wait a minute. Most places, you're over an hour. Like, they'll be okay if we're 5-10 minutes early. They'll be fine with that.
Yeah. And we
Be
let
ready.
them know, be ready.
Be
Be
ready.
ready. We have all the match lists on the wall. We're very organized. You get to see where we're at on the tournament and the organization. So when it's coming up. You know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's not mention, the winners are getting paid. Purple belt and up. If you
Purple
win
belt
by
and up.
submission or decision, you get paid for your super fight. So, like, there was a couple people that got paid on this card.
And get paid for ticket sales.
Commissions on ticket sales, probably the best commission structure around that I've seen, because I looked at all of them and tried to dissect it off of that. And then like we said, the match win bonus, decision and submission gets you a little bit more. Purple and up We say purple and up because purple belt is considered that professional belt in jiu-jitsu. Pros get paid. That's where we start our pay.
Yep.
But everyone gets commissions, right? Because if you sell tickets, you should get paid. And the number one leaders for that were those little kids. They just sold all the tickets. And
I would have bought a ticket to watch that too.
that was
so
awesome.
cute.
so cool. But I love what we're doing here. I love what we're growing here. IGC 6, like we said, at Apex, January 21st, the application is open. So put your name in, throw your name in. We have a master fucking matchmaker in Jack. He's over there. You know, sometimes I'm pulling my hair out with Jack, but I know at the end of the day, he's like putting together this superb card. And you've done it 3 times in a row already, and all 3 cards have been awesome.
Thanks,
Bangers.
dog.
Bangers.
Yeah. A few shout outs to our sponsors. We had a few sponsors that day. Protect Your Neck apparel.
Sick
which is
apparel.
So cool.
Yeah,
right?
actually, both apparels were really, really nice stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, our guys bought tons of stuff.
Yeah, and Alchemize Fightwear. Alchemize being an all women's grappling gear, and it was awesome.
I actually asked if they had they had like a male cut because the baby blue shirt they had was
The patterns,
higher.
the patterns were pretty nice. I was gonna mention. I was like, I kind of wish you made a.
Estee bought one. Estee bought a hoodie.
A
I
crew
was
neck.
like, yeah.
He rocked
Yeah.
it yesterday to CT
Yeah.
Combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Yep. And then Emily had a really cool trippy one where it was like this, looked like just like this trippy pattern of this person choking the person, but the person was themselves. You know, and like yeah, so cool. And then the Protect Your Neck stuff. I mean, I don't know how no one started that before. Like Protect Your Neck. He's out of Staten Island, right where Wu-Tang's from. Really cool stuff. It all fit really cool. It looks sick. You know when you have those rash guards that like you look better in.
Yeah,
like, when you
Rob
wear it.
Grillo bought
Yeah, I was like,
Protect Your
son of
Neck.
a bitch.
Not
He
only
walked
did
out.
not only did he look way cooler with that on, he wore his sweatshirt yesterday.
Yeah.
He walked out with it on
Yeah.
to his fight.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So check them out, protectyourneck.com. And then we have Alchemize, alchemize.com, Alchemize Fightwear. Find them both. Check them out. They have, Protect Your Neck has a promo code, KILLAFALL. So you can get stuff 7% off and free shipping over $50. Thank you to Jordan Novak from the Rear Naked Chicks podcast. She was my co-commentator the whole time. It's so interesting commentating sometimes. You know, you have all these teams that do it often, and each time that we've done an event, we've had a different co-commentator. So it takes us a little bit of time to get rolling. But she was great, and we didn't really step on each other's toes while we were doing it, and I thought it flowed pretty well. So thank you to her for coming down and doing that. That was super awesome. Check her podcast out, Rear Naked Chicks podcast, on all platforms. And what else? What do we got? Any other thank yous? Combat Media Team, obviously. Director of Photography, Lawrence Coleman, right
Deep
back
in a
there.
text message.
Deep
Right
in a
there.
text message.
Yeah. He's like, I hate this stuff. So I can't wait till
Oh,
they're
Max.
done. Max.
Dude, he's the man.
Max
He's the
Rivera.
man. Max, if you're listening, I got a man crush on you.
Max Rivera is so cool. So
yeah.
cool.
Dude, he's like he comes in, he's got a great attitude. He just wants to help all the time. Yeah, I love the team we have here. Just everybody's got good vibes. Everybody's just trying to live life and be happy.
Yep. On the cameras, Ashley Santa Petro did her second event on the camera, and then Bill Carroll did his first event on the camera. Thank you to both of them. They did really awesome. It's cool that we added the joysticks to our zooms and stuff like that. So it was really cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That was IGC5 Athena. Check this out on YouTube. Check it out on Combat Media TV. Check out combatmedia.tv to see all these events exclusively. We got a lot of stuff coming out for the new year.
I would just say one more thing. If you enjoy our quote-unquote invitational, the professional stuff we do, we have an open tournament called Ascension Grappling Championships. If you're looking for reps there too, again, timeliness, organization, the aesthetics, all that kind of stuff we bring to the open tournament format. So Ascension Grappling is on Instagram. And yeah, check us out.
Yep, Ascension Combat on Instagram, and ascensioncombat.net is the website. You'll see all the Ascension grappling stuff there, and the Ironman grappling stuff there as well.
Found us on Smooth Comp.
Smooth Comp.
Yeah. All of it. Smooth Comp's killing the game, huh?
Yeah, they did it right.
We killing the game.
Yeah, we killing the game,
dude.
But we gotta roll because we got stuff to do.
Just got a private or something.
Just got a private.
I have an appointment.
I got other stuff.
It's starting now,
and I think the battery's running out. But we'll catch you guys. Thank you very much. I'm Dan, Jeff, Jack. Peace, guys. We'll catch you later.
Bye.
Combat Media.